Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we did the second step. Yesterday we actually poured the concrete into the tire tank, and it's set up really nice, as you can see. That's our drain there on the left, and there's the inlet over there on the right. And this tank is basically 2.5 foot tall by 6 foot across. It's supposed to hold right at, I think, 700 to 800 gallons. We're going to have a 2-inch brass valve in there. And so every time the cattle drink that, it'll be 2 inches of water flow going into there. This is one of the advantages of having your own lumber. We have our own sawmill. Instead of going out and buying, 7x7s, we were actually able to use some that we had stored. And it worked out pretty good. We're on the side of a hill here. And so the downhill side, we went up 4 high. And on the uphill side over there, going toward the pond, we've only went up 2 high. So, yeah, it worked out really well. And these posts, the boys just got through driving those in the ground. Those are 2.5-inch fiberglass. And we're going to screw those to the back of those. So there'll be a hole drilled in each one of those twice. Each one of those beams will have 2 4-inch deck screws in it. They're painted deck screws so they won't rust or rot. And we're going to take a sawzall and saw off what the boys didn't get drove in the ground. Sawzall works real good on fiberglass. And then the last step we have is up there on the hill, we've got our 15 tons of rock. And we'll take the front end loader on the tractor and just dump that rock in here. So that rock's going to go to about the center, a little bit more up. So it's going to be about 1.5 feet deep up there around that tank, all the way around it. And then I put some fiberglass rods across the middle of that tank to keep cattle from crawling inside it. On a hot day, they might climb in there. If they do, they have trouble getting out because that thing's almost 3 foot deep. So we put fiberglass rods across the top. You'll see when we get that. That'll be step 3. Getting the actual valve in and getting those rods on the top. But boy, I tell you what, we got the hard part done. Here's the geotextile. That's what I was talking about. Got a little flap here we need to pull over. There we go. And we use 1.5 inch clean rock. That's what I always use. It seems to last the best. I started out using 1.5 inch minus. 1.5 inch minus is 1.5 inch rock all the way down to dust, all different particle sizes. And what I found is when the animals went in there, it stuck to their feet. And when it was wet, and as they walked out of there, they took all my rock with them. This stuff, it doesn't stick to their feet. And it packs real well. They'll get a little, manure and a little mud on it and dirt, and it'll just get tight as concrete in there. But folks, if you don't go through this step, putting these landscaping timbers in here, you might as well not put any rock down. And the really critical one, of course, is the geotextile. When you put down geotextile, that's the black matting here, you can't have any rock underneath it. I mean, even if you have a handful of rocks underneath there, it will grind through the geotextile. Because you got rock on top and you got rock on the bottom, geotextile in the middle, and it will grind through it, and it just chews it up. I mean, it just completely ruins your textile. This pad, no matter, on the closest part from here over where I'm standing, that's 6 foot. From that corner over there where Isaac is standing, that's 8 feet.
You want me to start cutting that weight classes?
Yeah, go ahead. Fire that generator up. We've got a little Honda generator here that works just super slick. Once we figured out how to choke it, stupid instructions had an arrow like, go this way and choke it. So we did. We pulled it that way and pulled and pulled and pulled. And finally I said, I wonder if that needs to go the other way. And as soon as we turned it the other way, the darn thing started on the first pole. So it's a great generator. Their instructions are not very good, because it fooled 3 of us. But I can't wait to get this in. This is going to be awesome. We've got a beautiful pond up here on top feeding this. It's stocked with fish. I'll show it to you. I don't have my cedars in it yet though. I need to get my cedars in. We put cedars in all of our ponds. And maybe this winter, when the ice freezes over, we'll drag some cedars out on here. And we'll tie some concrete blocks on them. Sink them. Oh man, that's beautiful. Look at the frogs in there. See that frog jump in? Man, there's some big frogs in here. Just a beautiful pond. The color on it looks like a swimming pool. That's how I want it to look. I don't want cattle in here. We've got our wire permanent all the way around here. We didn't get crazy. We didn't fence off a lot of area. We kept it back about 3 foot. Just don't want them down in there. Don't need them down in there. And we got this going on down here. So we've got a bunch more of these to put in, but we got the first one pretty much done. I mean, all we got to do is take and put the valve in it. I'm getting some 2-inch brass valves, and once we get those on, we're good to go. And fill it up with rock, of course. But yeah, it's looking good. This is free water, folks. It falls out of the sky. We caught it on our land. That's the watershed up above right there. And we're going to use it. We're going to use it for our livestock. So you don't have to pay for it. It does take a little money to build the pond, but you know, that pond water, you build it when you're a young person, you've got that thing the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like that. I don't like being dependent on a water line where people are drinking that same water. You know, times get tough, you get in a drought, and they're like, you know what, you can't use that public water for your cows. What are you going to do? Well, you got a pond. You know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to water them. So I guess what I'm saying is don't get stuck without water. Boy, look at this bullfrog. Oh, darn it, he went in. Boy, that is a big one. I love bullfrogs. See him out there? He is a beaut. It's just a peaceful setting. There was a fish that dove after that dragonfly. A couple more years, there's going to be some really, really nice fish in here, but it'll be 2 more years. Anyway, this is wrapping up. Everyone, we're going to kick off our second grazing school in the morning. We've got people coming, and looking forward to that. And I think Ben and Isaac are ready to take a day off. They drove all those big posts. I think their arms were about mush when they got done, but you know, they didn't complain. They drove them. That's pretty cool. They're hard-working young fellows. You just can't find those kind every single day. So anyway, I'm going to sign off and bring on the 3rd rendition when we get everything hooked in there and the rock in. But this is the hardest part of it. And I'm going to sign off, and you'll hit that subscribe button on the way out if you would, and I'll see you down the road.